Okay, from one defamation saga to another one that is brewing in the Delhi High Court. This time between the two warring factions of the Shiv Sena. Uddhav Thackeray, his son Aadity, and party MP Sanjay Raut have been summoned by the Delhi High Court in a defamation case. This case dates back to Sanjay Raut's claim that the Shinde faction had bought the bow and arrow symbol from the Election Commission in a 2,000 crore rupee deal. First, before we move forward, listen in to that statement that has landed the Thackerays and Sanjay Raut in deep trouble.
जिस तरह से शिवसेना और शिवसेना का जो निशानी है तीर कमान वो हमसे छीन लिया है, वो न्याय नहीं है, वो सत्य नहीं है, वो एक व्यवहार और व्यापार हो गया, खरीद लिया गया और अब तक 2000 करोड़ रुपए की लेन देन उस मामले में हुई है सिर्फ शिवसेना से चिन्ह और नाम छीनने के लिए। ये मेरा प्राथमिक अंदाज है, जिसे आप एफआईआर कहते हो, फर्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन रिपोर्ट, दिस इज एफआईआर। ये मेरा एफआईआर है। ये निर्णय खरीदा हुआ निर्णय 2000 करोड़ का व्यवहार अब तक हो चुका है 6 महीनों में सिर्फ चिन्ह और नाम के लिए।
Now, you heard the statement. Now hear the response. Shinde faction leader Rahul Shivale filed a defamation case after these comments were made. He is also the floor leader of the Shinde Sena in the Lok Sabha. The Delhi High Court has issued summons to the Thackerays, Sanjay Raut, and also internet companies like Google and Twitter. The matter will next be taken up on April 17th. Rahul Shivale is arguing that Sanjay Raut's claim was defamatory to Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and also the Election Commission of India. The argument is that the poll body's independence has been questioned. Now, while Mr. Shivale's lawyers argued for an injunction on Uddhav Sena leaders, the court refused to gag them. The judge also said that the Election Commission's shoulders are broad enough to take this sort of criticism. He, which is the judge of the Delhi High Court, called the whole episode a political fight. Nonetheless, there will be keen interest on this defamation lawsuit after what happened with Rahul Gandhi. Essentially, since Mr. Sanjay Raut is remaining defiant, much like Rahul Gandhi, both he, Uddhav Thackeray and Aadity Thackeray have now been summoned by the court. Let me go across to my guests this evening for a very quick chat. I promise we'll not drag it. Chandra Shekhar Jha is a leader of the UBT Shiv Sena, essentially the Uddhav Shiv Sena, and Krishna Hedge is spokesperson of the Shiv Sena. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us on the show. Let me start with you, Mr. Jha. Many people would say it is only fair for the Shiv Sena to drag this entire matter to court because what was said was fairly unnecessary, and it wasn't said once, it was said multiple times by multiple leaders.
The thing is now the matter has been dragged to a court. Matter is sub judice. Let us not go into the merits of the case, but the thing is that what we are seeing right now is that you cannot call a thief, you cannot call a murderer, you cannot call a rapist. So in any manner whatsoever, you cannot oppose any kind of acts done by the person sitting in power, and it categorically shows that how the opposition voice is being categorically downsized by these people sitting in the power.
Mr. Jha, all that is very well. All that is very well. You're making a case for free speech. That is something that was discussed in the Delhi High Court today, where the matter has been dragged. But how on earth do you think that you and your party leaders can get away by saying that the Shiv Sena symbol and name verdict by the Election Commission was actually purchased by Mr. Shinde and his team for 2,000 crore rupees? This then merely isn't just a political fight between two different rival political factions. You have dragged an institution of this country into that fight and besmirched its name without any proof.
See, everything is based on proof. One person which alleges the other, there has to be substantial proof against that. And when a person is making a statement in media and national channel and into the public, everybody knows that one person is talking with some kind of proof. So without proof, these allegations don't come out. And eventually, if it is seen that election commission has done a very unconstitutional act, and it is very clear. Now the matter is pending before the Honorable Supreme Court. Let the Honorable Court decide whether this was done or not.
Mr. Jha, fair point. But fact is that Sanjay Raut, Uddhav Thackeray, Aadity Thackeray, all have been summoned to court. Now you're telling me that there is obviously these three leaders have proof of the election commission being bribed to give the verdict that it did, essentially giving Mr. Shinde the party symbol and the party name. You're saying there is proof. If there is proof, why has that proof not been put in the public domain, given that the fight between the two factions has been so public and all sorts of allegations and counter allegations have been made, sir?
See, the matter is in court. The proof will also be produced before the court. If we don't have any proof, then the matter will be getting like a judgment of Rahul Gandhi, or it will go beyond any means. So in any manner whatsoever, the court will decide all those things.
Mr. Krishna Hedge, come in here.
But we are not fearful
if the idea
in this
was to...
Shreya ji, let me tell you that
You're not fearful under the circumstances. Krishna Hedge, okay, you just heard from Mr. Jha. My question to you is this, Mr. Hedge. If you had thought that Mr. Uddhav Thackeray and his party would back down from making the charges that they have after this defamation suit, it clearly is not happening.
Shreya ji, first let me tell you that let me answer to what the Honorable spokesperson from the Uddhav ji's camp said. Firstly, they were casting aspirations on the election commission and saying around 2,000 crores by exchange, which is false, misleading, unrealistic, defamatory, and absurd. Just now I heard the spokesperson from the other faction, Uddhav ji's faction, again saying and casting aspirations on the Honorable High Court also. Unfortunately, it's at Supreme Court. He does not know which court the case is in. And he was casting aspirations on the credibility of the Honorable Court. And I think this is exactly what they have been doing since the last 8 months, calling us all kinds of names. And when all that did not suffice, they went directly and attacked the election commission. And I tell you that after hearing all this thrash for 8 months, we were forced to go to court. And now the court has given them a summons. And now the spokesperson is saying that we will present, whatever proof is required in the court. This is exactly the modus operandi which they are following of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is defaming Swatantra Veer Savarkar ji on a day-to-day basis and just doing a hit and run and running away. And today, even his, ministers from Maharashtra and leaders from Maharashtra have gone and approached Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji to put an end to this. So this is exactly what they are doing. They're trying to defame everything, and they are not introspecting and trying to understand why their cadre and their leaders have moved out of the then party. Today we are the actual Shiv Sena. We have got the auspicious point symbol, bow and arrow symbol, and we are working for the people of Maharashtra with high speed. And our Honorable Chief Minister Eknath Raoji Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis ji, the Deputy CM, we are working day and night for the people. This is what they cannot digest. And they are only making all these absurd allegations.
Okay.
And people have seen through them that nothing is going to work.
Sitting on unconstitutional chair and defending themselves.
What unconstitutional chair? Do you even know what you're saying? You don't even know which court the matter is in, and you're saying unconstitutional chair. And over that, Mr. Jha is not even a spokesperson of the Uddhav team. He's just there on television without being a spokesperson.
Hey, Mr. Hedge, don't point fingers at Mr. Jha. He's here on our invite. Let me ask you this. Mr. Jha, give me a minute. Mr. Hedge, please answer this to me. This is something that the court has said today. I'm not saying it. They are saying, why are you so worried about what is being said by the election commission? The election commission is mighty enough and strong enough to protect its reputation and speak up for itself. आप बीच में क्यों पड़ रहे हैं?
देखिए, हम कोई इसके बीच पे नहीं पड़ रहे हैं. द इलेक्शन कमीशन इज एन ऑटोनॉमस बॉडी. द इलेक्शन कमीशन हैज सीन द मेरिट्स एंड द डिमेरिट्स ऑफ द केस. दे हैव सीन दैट 13 out of 18 MPs are with us. They have seen that 40 out of 54, 55 MLAs are with us. They have seen that the Pratinidhi Sabha is with us. They have seen that the state presidents across the country are with us. And they have seen the number of affidavits we have given. They have seen how many, votes each MLA has polled. And they have taken a decision in our favor. So what wrong did the election commission do that you have to blame them and accuse them of exchanging money of 2,000 crores? Totally absurd. I don't think
No,
the
but
country
the
is going to
court has
take
said
on.
that the election commission can stand for itself. Sir, what I'm saying is that the High Court today has also noted that the Election Commission can speak up for itself. You don't
No,
have to take up cudgels on their behalf and come to court.
No, we are not taking cudgels on their behalf. We are taking the issue on our behalf because they are defaming us time and now and on a regular basis since the last 8 months. So what wrong did we do? We are only trying to see that these people who are defaming us all the time put an end to all these defamatory statements that they are doing. That's all. You can't go
Mr.
on
Jha,
defaming
a line was
everybody.
crossed. You know, Mr. Jha, political fights are one thing and free speech is one thing, but slander is another thing. And this was slander. And this was slander, as I said, without proof. You should have expected this defamation case. Why say that, the ruling dispensation, the powers are trying to silence us?
Then Mr. Krishna Hedge falls down apart because once the election commission goes before the Honorable Supreme Court and says that it's a fight between the two parties
My friend,
and we
it
are
is
not
Honorable
responsible
High
for
Court now,
anything, those kind of affidavit comes and let me come to that also. And if they want to come down to a defamation case whereby they allege that we have made allegations against the election commission, and in the Honorable High Court they file a defamation case which does not stand at all, the summons have been issued but it is not the finality of a proceedings. They should understand that. So in any manner whatsoever, if they say that if we have made allegations against the election commission, what responsibility the election commission has, they should explain it to the court, and then it can be decided whether there is a defamation, slander or libel against the Shiv Sena, which the holding Eknath Shinde is having, or against the election commission.
Okay,
And
we'll
second
leave it
thing
there
is
for the
that
moment.
if
Mr. Jha, thank you very much for joining us. Go ahead, complete your point.
Even the opening statement of Mr. Jha, rapist,
if
murder, slander,
if Mr. Hegde says that I am not a spokesperson, then Mr. Hegde should also say that he is not a spokesperson for Eknath Shinde Group.
I am the official spokesperson for Mr. Eknath Shinde.
Wait, Mr. Hegde.
Yeah.
Then I am also the official
Mr. Jha,
spokesperson.
you
You don't have
complete your point. You complete your point.
plead on this television. This is on record also. Yes, let me say it. Mr. Hegde says that everything which they are doing is not is according to Constitution. Yeah, he says that everything is done by them is a constitutional act, but in every manner whatsoever, they have not done anything in Constitution. They have done everything against against Constitution, and
What
it is very
saying?
clear right now that yesterday also the Honorable Chief Justice of India has made aspersions on all aspects, and this is very clear right now what they have done and what they are doing.
No, but what is unconstitutional? Fact is that Uddhav Thackeray didn't have the numbers. He didn't have MLAs on his side. He didn't have MPs on his side.
He resigned before the floor
Mr.
test.
Hegde, go ahead.
Mr. Uddhav Thackeray
MPs, MLAs does not constitute a party. Let me tell you, MPs,
Mr.
MLAs
Jha,
does
you
not
have your
constitute
time
a
to speak
party.
now. Let me
A
speak.
party is being
Start
done.
speaking and heckling here. Don't keep heckling
You
here.
should go to the People's Representative Act. You should see the People's Representative
We have
Act.
seen everything.
It is very
The
clear
lawyers are
there.
representing the case very well. Please do not heckle when I am speaking. You wait for your turn.
Yes,
okay?
No. We are not trying to heckle those things. I am also a lawyer. I know what your lawyers are saying in the court.
This is exactly what you are doing since the last 8 months, only heckling around.
This is because you people are sitting on an unconstitutional chair. You can say anything.
What unconstitutional chair? Do you think elected representatives form an unconstitutional chair? You think 13 MPs are forming an unconstitutional chair? You think 40 MP, MLAs and the other 10 MLAs who have come over to us?
Everybody has seen what has been done.
Here?
Just a minute, gentlemen. As also Sanjay Raut for making the statement that they made that 2,000 crore rupees were paid by the Shinde faction to the Election Commission to buy the verdict and give them the symbol and the party. Was it defamatory? Was a line crossed? Or is this free speech? That is something that the Supreme Court, the Delhi High Court, I beg your pardon, is debating right now. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining us.